What's up, guys? Happy Saturday. This is the NHL Every Game on the Board podcast right here on WagerTalk TV. Andrew McInnis, found, of course, wt.buzz/am at McInnis Picks on X. And I'm pumped up. I'm stoked. We got a ton of games, guys. The NHL, of course, gifted us with a very weird schedule this past week with not much going on Monday, a ton of stuff on Tuesday, not much on Wednesday, a ton of stuff on Thursday, and just one game, Hurricanes versus Senators on Friday. And you know what that means. A ton of teams rested and a ton of teams ready to play starting early on Saturday in the NHL. So obviously, guys, I'm going to have more opinions on some games than the others, but had to be brief with a lot of these because we have a ton of games to get to, and I mean a ton. So we got some underdogs, we got some totals, we got some favorites, we got some team totals, we got a bunch of stuff mixed in. And over at WagerTalk, guys, tomorrow I'm going to have one of my biggest cards in a while. So some of these picks I mentioned will be on there, and some of them will be a little bit different than some of the picks I mentioned. Obviously, I won't go against anything I mentioned, of course, but might be a total in a game I mentioned a side, or it might be a side in a game I mentioned a total, things like that. But just want to start things off really quick by just saying, appreciate all the love from you guys on last week's Every Game on the Board video. Really does mean a lot to me. And a lot of you guys commenting. And I just want to have success. I just want to try and bang out some winners. Want to try and have success and, get more right than wrong here on this pod and try and, give you guys an idea of kind of where I'm thinking with some of these games overall. Like I said, I'm going to have a lot of plays up for the day, but we always recommend taking a look at the current deals we have going. This is the best deal we have, in my opinion, right now for you guys to check out, kind of a short-term sample size, I guess. And for me, you buy a regular 7-day pass right now over at WagerTalk, and you're going to get 3 additional days added to your account from me. And this is going to be NFL. This is going to be any UFC, and I do plan on having UFC for Saturday. This is going to be all my NHL. This is going to be every single thing I release over the next week, plus 3 additional days. So a great opportunity, guys, to make some money with me over at wagertalk.com. If I make you guys some money with these picks on this video, show me some love, sign up for my package, and get all my best bets for 10 days for the price of 7. All right, let's jump into the very first game that we're going to talk about, Hawks versus Devils. Chicago Blackhawks, 3rd game of their road trip. Devils, though, 5th and final home game of their homestand. 2-2 on the homestand so far. Hawks 5 straight losses, but their opponent has scored at least 4 goals in 4 straight losses for them. This is a team that when they lose, they give up 4 goals. And I don't love the price here, but minus 150, minus 160 is what I'm seeing for the team total, guys. And that's the way to go when approaching this Chicago Blackhawks team right now. And this Devils team, it's been a so-so homestand. As I mentioned, they're 2-2. This isn't a team that's going to be caught sleeping in the last game of their homestand. This isn't a team that will take the Blackhawks lightly by any means. I think that this is a game where the Devils will show up, they'll get the job done, and I think they're going to be able to, kind of lock in here. Win over New York, 5-4 game against the Islanders. I think kind of things start to catch up for the Chicago Blackhawks here. A couple good games in a row for them, don't get me wrong, but I do think things will start to catch up to them, especially defensively. And I think that this is going to be a tough spot for them. So, even their loss against the Islanders, where it was 5-4, they battled, but they still give up 5 goals as well. So we're going to go team total over, guys. Sorry to start things off with a chalky pick, but I do like the Devils to get us to 4 goals. Kings and Rangers, another early start game. Kemper and Quick projected starters, 2.29 goals against average versus 2.58 goals against average here. Kings off poor showing, to say the least, against the Devils. Just 1 goal for them. Rangers just need to get going overall. I mean, this is a team that's been struggling. They trade away Jacob Trouba, and this team just overall has not seen success from their top guys. And yeah, sure, they had a decent performance in their last game, but how much do we really care about that? I'm not sure if I really look at it. I think the over is a good play in this one, over 6. LA is a really good bounce back team. Whenever they don't play well, they usually respond immediately. That to me just goes to show they're a veteran team. They're a well-coached team, and they're a team that knows how to kind of bounce back off tough losses. Rangers are top 10 in expected goals over the past 3 weeks. I think you got a hungry LA team mixed with a Rangers team that's just been desperate for some goal-scoring chances, desperate to capitalize on their opportunities. I think the over 6 is a really good one in this one. All right, we had a little bit of a technical difficulty there, guys. Not really sure what happened to my page. I think I just crashed out. But we're going to pick things up with an under this time, and not just an under, but a team total under. And this time we're going to look at the Wild and the Flyers. We're going to look at Philadelphia team total under 2.5 minus 115. The Wild are off, well, a brutal game. A brutal game. I mean, this is not something we're used to seeing from the Edmonton Oilers by any means, or excuse me, from the Minnesota Wild by any means. But they gave up 7 goals against the Edmonton Oilers. They did not look good, giving up a ton of chances. Edmonton capitalized on every opportunity that they had. And when they respond defensively. They respond with good goaltending. They respond with protecting their own end of the ice. So Philadelphia, kind of an up and down team offensively, of course, a lot of younger players. But I think this is a game where we really see Minnesota show up and show us what they can do as far as their defensive game is concerned. So I think for Minnesota, a win for them is typically when they play defensive hockey, and especially after getting spanked against the Oilers 7-1. The bounce back spot for us to look at is, of course, Philadelphia team total under 2.5 goals at a minus 115 price. Let's look at Vegas and Edmonton. Don't look now, guys, but this Oilers team is actually playing decent defense. As we just talked about, they limit the Wild to just 1 goal, but they scored 7 on them themselves. As far as the total overall, we've seen 4 straight games go under for the Vegas Golden Knights. 2 goaltenders playing very well right now, projected. Oilers, they always have people saying their goaltending is not very good. It's been decent as of late. Going to shock you guys a bit here. We're going to go under 6, Vegas and Edmonton. Vegas off that win against Winnipeg, and Edmonton off that massive victory over Minnesota. I see this one being a little bit more of a defensive battle here on a Saturday night game. Let's go over to Toronto and Detroit. Detroit 1-6 last 7 games. Now playing Toronto Saturday night. Toronto games, though, guys, they've been defensive. They've been low scoring. I mean, this team has definitely transformed into an under team. They're one of the top 5 teams as far as unders in the league. And there was a time and place, if I would have told someone that about the Maple Leafs, they would have thought I was crazy to say that. But with good defensive play from the forwards, with a little bit of lack of secondary scoring, with great goaltending from both Woll and Stolarz, it's led us to a lot of unders. However, the first period overs are actually still hitting at a decent clip for this Leafs team. We saw a 2-1 scoreline after the first period in the Maple Leafs game against the Ducks. First period over hits, but the game finishes going under with it finishing 3-2. So we're going to do the same thing here. Detroit, very, very desperate. Off a very, very tough game. Not looking good offensively. Patrick Kane, no point for him in his last 7 games. He's off an injury. Tarasenko not playing well. The top guys not playing well. They'll get up for this game on a Saturday against Toronto. The first period over 1.5 is the best way to approach this game, guys. I really think we're going to see a desperate Detroit team, a fast start from Toronto, and a hell of a lot from them early on in this one. Guys, again, apologize for any technical difficulties we had there, but a lot of games to get through. Hope you guys are enjoying so far. Please smash that like button. I don't ask for much. I don't really ask for them on puck time as much as I probably should. Show some love. Comment. Let me know what you are betting today in the NHL. I'm curious. I want to know what you're betting. And again, guys, don't forget about that great deal over at WagerTalk. Unlock 10 days for the price of $7.99. You buy a 7-day pass, you're going to get 3 additional days on top of that regular 7-day pass. NBA, NHL, NFL, UFC, every single thing that I am betting personally, you guys will receive in your inboxes at your profile page at wagertalk.com. So I'm pumped up. for a really, really, really good weekend. So I can't wait. I'm telling you, I got a huge card coming out for Saturday's NHL. So don't miss out on that. Let's make a ton of money in the NHL. All right, guys. As you know, I'm a Canadiens fan. All right. They just got embarrassed. Absolutely embarrassed. 9-2. 9-2. Are you kidding me? 9-2 loss against the Pittsburgh Penguins on Thursday. It seemed like they just gave up. 3-2 going into the third period. 1 goal away from making it a tie game, and they got a ton of chances. Well, when they got blown out against New York, they responded with a good game. When they got blown out against Seattle, they responded with a good game. But no, guys, don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not taking the Canadiens to win this game. I'm not. I'm just taking the under 6. I want Montembeault to bounce back. We're going to see a hell of an effort from the Canadiens defensively. The Jets themselves just blew a lead to the Vegas Golden Knights. They ended up losing that game 3-2. This one might shock some people, but I do think this is going to be a tight game. I could be dead wrong, and the game could completely open up with all the talent out there, especially on the side of the Jets. But this is going to be an angry and motivated Jets team for blowing their lead, and an angry and pissed off team in the Habs for giving up 9 goals against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Unacceptable, something that just cannot happen. So I'm going to look towards under 6 here as far as that response is concerned. Sabres versus Capitals is our next game here, guys. 8-game losing streak for the Buffalo Sabres here. Sabres should be rested. They're off a 3-2 loss to the Rangers. That was a handful of days ago, though. Again, guys, another under. Look, this Sabres team, I get it. It's hard taking unders with them. But they haven't played a game for a handful of days now. The Caps have been having great goaltending. Their offense has kind of fallen off a little bit here. They started the season, I was waiting for some regression out of them, and we've kind of started to see that regression set in a little bit. But the good news is, because of their good defense, because of their good goaltending, they haven't really had issues. They're still winning hockey games. It's very rare these days, guys, you can win a hockey game 2-1. It's very rare in the NHL to win a game 2-1. They have the ability to do it. They have the talent to do it. They have the goaltending to do it. And I think the Sabres, with how they've been losing games lately, the fact that they're on an 8-game losing streak, we're going to see a good defensive effort. I know I'm asking a lot out of the Sabres team, but give me the under in this one, under 6 Capitals and Sabres. Penguins and Senators, guys, this one's an easy handicap for me. Senators back-to-back, good effort for them, cashing as underdogs against the Carolina Hurricanes. A couple good games in a row for the Senators team. But here's the kicker. Allmark has been great for the Ottawa Senators. He's starting to be what they wanted him to be when they traded for him. Well, we're probably not going to see him in the second half of a back-to-back. We're going to see Forsberg, and I think it's as simple as this. This is a spot where you want to be fading the Sens with Forsberg in net and backing them with Allmark in net. I think it's one of those simple things where the backup just can't produce that comfort like the starter can. And I think the Penguins will get a lot of confidence after putting up 9 goals on the Canadiens. I'll split my bet up over 2.5 team total for the Pens at -170. Penguins money line +115. I think they have a good effort. I believe they get the job done over the Ottawa Senators. Look, guys, don't get me wrong. The Sens are playing some good hockey, but this is a good spot to fade them on a second half of a back-to-back. And I think the rested Penguins will get the job done. Ducks and Jackets. Another dog I like here on the slate. +140 for the Ducks. Look, it's been a really, really tough go for them as well. They've lost a handful of games in a row on their road trip. Habs, Leafs, and Sens all beat them. Now they're going into a game against the Jackets, but they have been creating offense. Their goaltending has actually been decent. This is going to be a spot where they're motivated. The Jackets went to overtime against the Capitals, and all of my defensive metrics, all of the websites that I look at tell me this Columbus team is an over team for a reason, and it's not just because they're scoring goals, it's because they give up high dangerous chances every single game. Look, if there's a spot to take the Ducks at a big plus price against the Jackets, is probably the time to do it. +140, I like this spot for the Anaheim Mighty Ducks, but it is just the Anaheim Ducks to get the job done. Blues and Stars, kind of passing on this one, guys. I really tried to find something I don't love much here, but one guy I've had an eye on has been Jake Neighbors, who's done extremely well for the St. Louis Blues. He's been a prop guy I've been looking at, so don't be shy to make some money on some prop bets with Jake Neighbors this Saturday. Prez and Avalanche, this is a spot I've been looking at, guys. Make sure you only bet this if Mackenzie Blackwood is in net and makes his debut, but some websites are showing he might not. Some websites are showing that he is going to be the starter. I believe I have read that this will be the spot that he makes his first scheduled start as an Avalanche since the trade. You go from the San Jose Sharks to the Colorado Avalanche. How would that not motivate everybody? How would that not absolutely fire you up to go from playing for the Sharks to playing for the Avalanche? I think Blackwood's a great goaltender. He's just been on a lot of bad teams and some bad situations. And let's not forget, this is a motivated spot here. Utah beat the Avalanche 4-1 just on Thursday night. It was kind of a letdown, a flat spot, whatever you want to call it. The Avs did not look good. This is a spot that I like the Avalanche to get a job done. Minus 115, the regulation price over the Nashville Predators, who did get their first win in a while over the Dallas Stars the other night as well. Tampa and Seattle, we're going to go with Tampa over 3.5 team total plus 110. They just put up a ton of goals against the Calgary Flames. Kucherov, Gensel, hat trick, Pointer, these guys playing extremely well right now. How about Hagel, the season he's having overall here? Seattle, they're off a good win over the Boston Bruins, but they haven't been able to put together wins like that back-to-back games. So this to me is a team that I'm not really looking at backing back-to-back games, especially after a good performance after winning 5-1. All right, Utah and San Jose. Utah, we just talked about it. They beat Colorado. And, again, they're a very inconsistent defensive team. They have a good defensive shutdown game. I can't trust them the next time out. And with San Jose trading Blackwood, I'm expecting their goaltending to go down, their defensive numbers to go down. They're not going to get bailed out as much as they were to start the season off. But, man, some of these guys are actually playing pretty well. I mean, you've got Celbrani playing extremely well. You've got some of the guys on the third line producing. The power play's been decent. How about the year that Toffoli is having for the San Jose Sharks? I mean, look at some of these numbers. I'm extremely impressed by what they've done. I don't have any team totals for this, guys. We're going up and over in the full game. We're going to take over 6, Utah and San Jose. And the last pick I have for you guys here, Boston, Vancouver. 2-0 was the final score for the Canucks in the last meeting for them in Boston. Now the Bruins are off a brutal 5-1 loss to the Seattle Kraken. Bruins plus 120 are the side to play here. Motivated roster, chance to bounce back after a bad loss, and in-season revenge after they lost to the Canucks on home ice. They get the chance to do the exact same thing on the road against the Vancouver Canucks, and I think they will spoil the party, and I love this plus 120 price against the Boston Bruins. So that will do it for the Every Game on the Board podcast, guys. I hope I'm sitting here, I'm praying that I did not miss a game. I know I probably was a little bit short on some of them. We had a little bit of tech issues at one point here, but we got a bunch of picks. We got a bunch of stuff. I got a big UFC play, 4% that I really like. We got NBA going. We got NFL on Sunday, but do not miss this package. Unlock 10 days for $99, guys, because you're going to get the regular price $99 for 7 days. Well, $99 that gets you 10 days for the remainder of this week here at WagerTalk. A great deal for the holiday season. Don't miss out. Let's make some money, guys. Smash this like button. Show some love. 20 minutes here of giving out picks on this massive NHL slate. Wishing you guys a great weekend. Wishing you guys all the success in the world. Hope you guys have a lot of winning tickets Saturday in the NHL. Hope you guys make some money on Sunday in the NFL. And for now, I'm Andrew McInnis from WagerTalk, and this has been the Every Game on the Board podcast for December 14th. Cheers, all the best, and happy holidays.